Welcome back to Wichita, Kansas, North Rock Lanes, the first PBA event here in Wichita since the 02 PBA Wichita Open. Norm Duke waiting in the wings and seeking major career title number 6, which would put him just one behind Walter Ray Williams Jr.
And you look at the leader there, Earl Anthony, 6 of them at this event. The great Mike Albee, Pete Weber. You know, the thing that all 5 of these players will have in common, in my opinion, after the end of January, they'll all be Hall of Famers.
How could you deny Norm Duke?
Can't.
It's impossible. So the PBA World Championship today, the first of 4 majors this season. Here's a look at the PBA Grand Slam. All of them you can see live on ESPN. The Tournament of Champions, the Masters, and the U.S. Open from New Jersey. So we begin semifinal number 2. And there's a look at Steve Jarris from Yorkville, Illinois, the western suburbs of Chicago, as he takes on Chris Barnes. Jarris is up first. Nipped that pocket and drops 9.
And remember, we talked about it at the start of the show, the multiple angles that this oil pattern affords the players. You can see that Steve Jarris, even though he doesn't hook it quite a bit, he's playing a little bit more towards the second arrow, or inside, just inside the second arrow. I think you're going to see Chris Barnes playing even deeper than that.
Curls that one in. Jarris, his 25th year on the tour. That is half the PBA's history. I'm sure he's glad I did the math for him on that one. Here's Chris Barnes from Double Oak, Texas. Went to college here at Wichita and resided here for 8 years post-school. A little heavy on that one.
And Chris Barnes already in front of the bar return to play that deep inside angle. And I think this is what makes this pattern so great. There are multiple angles that you can play. Early in the week, during qualifying, the majority of the players did play inside. The lanes would get very dry. This is a worn synthetic surface.
Take a look at our Lumber Liquidators Know the Wood.
And again, a worn synthetic surface. It's an older surface. And what happens when you get an older surface, you get what's called a predominant track area. And right around the second arrow on the right side of the lanes are going to get very worn, because that's where the majority of your league bowlers and your house bowlers play. When the pros see that, it's a high friction zone.
Leaves the 10 this time, so no strikes yet here in semifinal number 2.
You know, if you're wondering, well, why isn't Chris and Steve Jarris playing where Norm Duke played in the previous match, where he shot 230? Are you wondering that, Rod?
I was.
Well, I'm going to tell you why after this spare.
Wonderful.
They can't play there because, first of all, it's a very precise shot, and nobody plays that angle better than Norm Duke, except for maybe one other guy on the planet, and that would be Walter Ray.
Here is Jarris, 7 PBA Tour titles, 1 major. He won the 2005 Tournament of Champions. Still seeking a strike, and we talked about Sean Rash in semifinal number 1, where he was in the first event of last season, which happened to be a major as well. Ditto for Jarris, who came in second at the USBC Masters in Milwaukee, Wisconsin last year, falling to Sean Rash, 245, 269.
Steve Jarris has had a very nice career out here. Very unassuming guy, very quiet, flies under the radar. But he's won 7 times out here, including 1 major.
Underrated career, and you know, he told us yesterday he has his eye on the Hall of Fame. You know, we asked him his goals. You know, I want to win another major, I want to qualify for the Hall of Fame, and I want to keep my job. And you know, in this economy, that's a wonderful goal. Keep your job.
His last practice ball that he threw on the left lane, he left a 2-8-10 split, came in light. The first ball of this match, he came in light. Steve Jarris looking down at which ball should I throw and where should I put my feet. This is going to be an educated guess.
Through 2 frames, 4 spares total. Make it the opportunity for 5 spares now.
And I think this is what makes this pattern tough. It's, you know, as soon as you let one go a little bit to the right, it doesn't recover. The next time you're up on that same lane, subconsciously, you don't want to give it that room to the right, so you end up pulling it or tugging it, missing left of target, and that's what Steve Jarris did on that shot. And most of the time when you miss left of target this week, it didn't hold pocket.
It's a lot like your golf game. You have kind of one bad swing, one funky swing, and you start tweaking, and then you have to retweak and continue tweaking. You lose your focus, you lose your game.